both, John.
I hope that it doesn't set an example. I hope that sentiment is clear enough after people have a little bit of time to reflect on it, that it's clear enough that this is not okay. We don't want vigilantism. We don't want lawlessness. What you were saying about the larger societal issue is something different. You know, there are lots of arguments you can make. When you look at what's happening in society and the disenfranchisement of so many people, and I don't mean just in voting, but just in society, and the widening gap between the haves and the have-nots, that's concerning. I mean, I look at it and I say that the consolidation of wealth is alarming. Even among the wealthy, it's consolidating into a few. And you know, it's kind of like the Home Depot model, right? Let's just get rid of everybody else. One person, one entity. And that's happening with people. And that is alarming. And you hope that we can reverse course and understand what this country is built on and what gives people incentives to work hard, and the idea that you can work hard and achieve. You know, the idea that we're going to in any way condone people going out and killing CEOs. They're going to kill politicians. They'll kill prosecutors. They'll kill judges. It's mind-boggling.
The thing that is so interesting to me, though, about it is that I feel as if, you know, you mentioned you can talk to your Congress. I think people feel like that's just kind of bullshit. I think that's what leads to this, is that, you know, they were calling, and people do feel like they're screaming, and people do feel like they're suffering. And I feel like that's what gets this, right? That's what gets this, and that's what gets people supporting this, is that they don't feel that avenue of, I call my congressman, because they feel like, and I think this is the current sentiment, and like I said, where everyone is pretty much against politicians are bought, they're lobbying, or they're this, and that is the common man's feeling, that they're not with, my congressman doesn't have my best interests at heart. When it gets to that, that's when I think you have this, whether it's good or bad or not. It's clearly not good, because shooting the one person or one CEO or bringing it about isn't going to solve the greater systemic issue that may be there. I think they're connected. But I think that the problem is that these people don't see any avenue out. And one of the big things that's really interesting, you know, you're working with some of these big giant companies who, I don't understand how, you know, lobbyists work in their entirety. I understand I'm a company. I would like something to happen. I can use my money, influence with a certain congressman to help move things. That's not available to me, right? You know, and if I want some sort of zoning law change, or if I want something happening in my little area, I think that's where I really see the issue. I don't know how that gets solved unless people start to feel like the people that are in power have their best interests at heart in a certain way. This election cycle was actually interesting, and very much so because I was in Europe for the entire time, and it reminded me, in its importance at least, of what was going on I was in Serbia when Obama became president, and that was this whole hope, right? That he ran on that hope. And now this is another one where it's just like, wasn't as his hope, but it's a, you know, make America great again type thing is his thing. It's kind of hope. And it's funny to watch. I'm not a very politically inclined individual, right? I would put myself independent. I could find things from the Democratic and the Republican side with which I love, hate, whatever. I just find it hard to see how this changes in the best way.
Look, what you're latching onto is the difficulty when you think about any system. No system's ever survived, right? I mean, the Roman Empire, and it's one after another. And it's because everything's always in flux. And it's great, and it's ambitious, and it's working to something good, and you get there and you enjoy it. And then all of a sudden, it starts not being so good for certain people. And then it goes in the other direction. And I don't know if there's something sustainable that satisfies everybody.